In the village of Gotham, there stood a magnificent hermitage where a revered Buddhist teacher resided. Among his many disciples, one was particularly known for his constant chatter. This disciple had a habit of collecting stories from every house during his donation rounds and sharing them with the other disciples at the ashram. Unfortunately, he also had a tendency to speak ill of his fellow disciples, engaging in backbiting and attempting to portray himself as the most intelligent and superior one in front of their guru. One day, the wise guru gathered all of his disciples and presented them with a challenge. He asked each of them to make a resolution for the next month, a commitment that would test their determination and strengthen their inner selves. These resolutions could be of any size, based on their individual abilities. However, there was a catch. If anyone broke their resolution before the month was up, they would have to return to their old ways. The disciples enthusiastically embraced this challenge, setting various resolutions according to their abilities and then sharing them with their guru. However, the disciple who sought to prove his superiority approached the guru separately. He demanded a grand resolution befitting his abilities, one that would be difficult to fulfill. The guru, with a knowing smile, asked if he would be able to fulfill any resolution given by the guru. The disciple confidently assured him that he would. The guru then presented a resolution that seemed deceptively simple. Remain silent for the next month, without uttering a single word. The disciple, somewhat disappointed, questioned the guru's choice, finding it too easy. But the guru insisted, telling him to first complete this resolution before considering any other. Initially, the disciple found it rather manageable. He spent the first day in silence without much difficulty. However, as the days went by, the burden of not speaking began to weigh heavily on his mind. On the third day, he felt an unbearable heaviness, and by the fourth day he was plagued by restlessness. He watched as the other disciples continued to converse with each other, and he longed to share his own thoughts and opinions. After a few more days, the disciple's health deteriorated. His head felt as though it were about to explode, and he had lost all interest in eating or drinking. He realized he could hardly breathe without speaking. Finally, he approached his guru in writing, expressing his distress and pleading for relief from his resolution. The guru, still smiling, read his plea and said, "Resolutions are meant to be broken, but the act of fulfilling them strengthens your inner self. It's your choice to break it or not. Many of your fellow disciples have already given in and returned to their old ways. If you cannot handle this small resolution today, how will you handle the challenges life will throw at you? The choice is yours." These words pierced the disciple's heart. He returned to his hut without saying a word, locked himself in, and stayed there for the next 15 days. Despite the temptation to speak, he remained resolute, determined to prove to himself and his guru that he could overcome this challenge. As the days passed, his fellow disciples marveled at his transformation. They couldn't believe that the one who had once talked endlessly was now in a deep, contemplative silence. After 15 days, the disciple approached his guru once again, this time with a note that read, "Gurudev, I may be silent on the outside, but inside, my mind is filled with noise, doubts, and complaints." The guru smiled warmly and responded, "The voices within will always be there, but you have shown incredible strength in maintaining your silence. The journey of self-discovery is a lifelong path, and this is just the beginning. Embrace your inner growth and continue to walk the path of awakening." With a newfound sense of inner peace, the disciple returned to his silent contemplation, realizing that the greatest challenges often lie within ourselves. And in that serene hermitage of Gotham, the disciple learned the profound truth that sometimes silence speaks louder than words.